Yep, with slidinginthecheap.com. I'm here with Greg Whitehouse, and we're back at the California Ski Company. We're going to talk about skis today because there is nothing more complicated as ski technology has changed. You need to know what type of ski you want, what you're skiing on, how wide those skis should be, maybe what kind of skis you want for your family, for your kids. And I've got the expert right here, and we're going to get...
So skis, big question. You look in the magazines, you ask your friends, the different ski selections are enormous. It used to be that all skis were pretty much the same. You'd see different colors, and the confusion then was they all look the same. How are they different? Now the question is, they all look different. What's right for me? You can look at skis by waist in millimeters, and you'll see skis on the wall from 65 millimeters up to 140 millimeters. Everyone wants to get the right ski for them. Which is the right ski? It's a tough question. I think we can break down the skis into categories of types of skiers. You have people that are occasional skiers, they're mainly staying on groomed runs, they're working on their technique, and we're going to sell them what we call a frontside carver. Then you have people that are more experienced skiers, maybe they ski a little more often, they're more proficient at skiing, and what they need is a ski that kind of can do everything, and we're going to call that an all-mountain ski. And then new in the last 5 years or so are fat skis that can really be skied anywhere by a really good technical skier. So let's look at those categories one by one.
Yeah, and let me ask you a question, because one of the things that I hear a lot about skiers is I've gotten to a certain point, and no matter what I do, I just can't seem to improve, or I'm nervous about certain things. They're very good on the groom, but anything that's not groomed, whether it be bumps or powder or whatever, can a ski have an impact on?
Yeah, that's a good question, Kevin, and I think the answer to that is that the manufacturers, they know what the customers are thinking, and they know what the customers want. It used to be, are you a bumper or a groomer skier, and now it's, are you piste or off-piste, meaning groomed slopes or non-groomed slopes. And the mountains are leaving more of the terrain wide open without grooming it out. The skiers are looking for that, and they want to do it better. Whether or not it's 10% of their ski experience or 90% of their ski experience, they want something that does that. So I think we're going to find that all the skis, from the narrowest to the widest, are better at all conditions than any ski used to be, and particularly the off-piste. Even what we're going to call the frontside carvers are going to be better at off-piste, ungroomed snow than anything would have been 10 years ago. So frontside carvers. Your skier profile is you ski between 10 and 30 days a year, or maybe between 0 and 30 days a year. You're going to a resort on, you're going December 15th through 17th, you're going January 12th through 15th, and you're going February 19th through 26th. Maybe one of your trips happens to be to Jackson Hole or some destination bucket resort type, bucket list resort type place. But in general, you're going to get what you get. You don't get the storm chase. And the reality is, most of the skiing you're going to be doing is going to be on packed powder as opposed to the deep, fluffy stuff that you'd like to see every day. So, what's the best ski for you? Well, it's probably going to be a frontside carver. What that means is, frontside means groomed terrain. Carver means that it's a short radius ski. It makes turns very easily. It's using the parabolic shape that's been out for a number of years now, so it's sort of hourglass shaped. And that shape is going to give you the ability to turn very easily on edge and make smooth carved turns. Race skis are very narrow. They ski on ice. Our narrowest ski that we're normally going to keep in stock is going to be 68 millimeters under waist. This is a skier cross ski, which is a type of racing that's done on less manicured courses, sort of a natural mountain type race. It's still going to be very narrow. It allows it to be very quick from edge to edge. It's going to have a tight turn radius, meaning that when you put it on edge, it's going to turn very sharply. That's a pretty rarefied ski at this point. This would be someone who's looking for a very technical, carving specific ski. Then we're going to jump up into a 74 waist, a 76 waist, a 78 waist. We're getting up into the low 80s. And I think we can say that up to about 90 millimeters, we would call these frontside carving skis, meaning that primarily they're going to be used on groomed surfaces. As the skis get wide, but the quickness from edge to edge goes down slightly, so going a little wider gives you a little more versatility off-piste. Going a little narrower means that you're concentrating a little bit more on-piste. One of our most popular skis is this model here, the Head Peak 78 Pro. This is a ski that's for a very high level skier. It utilizes a wood core, 2 sheets of metal which make it a little bit stiffer, better to handle high speeds and the high G-forces in a turn. So a good skier is going to get this up on edge and he's not going to feel any chattering, and he's not going to feel like the ski makes him nervous at high speeds. In a 171 centimeter length, this ski is going to have a turn radius of 14.8 meters. That means if you tilt the ski up from flat up to 45 degrees, the ski by itself, because of the side cut, is going to make a turn that's about 15 yards long in a half circle. So it's a quick ski. It'll allow you to go edge to edge very quick, make a lot of turns on the mountain. But with a 78 waist and a tip of 124 millimeters, when you get off piste, it's actually going to float up pretty good, probably better than anything made would have 10 years ago. So this is a very versatile ski. It does everything on the mountain. The Head is going to say in their literature that this is 70% on piste, 30% off piste, and I'd say that's pretty accurate. We go to the other end of the Frontside carver spectrum, and we look at a ski with a 90 millimeter waist. Now we're getting a ski that they're going to make it a little softer, a little bit better for the powder, not pushing on it quite so hard on the groomed runs, not such a speed merchant type ski, but an all-around versatile ski. At 90 underfoot and 132 in the tip, this is simply going to float up better on powder, give you a little bit better powder experience. You're going to take away some of the exactness of the carving on the groomed runs. I'd say the ski is probably for the same skier profile, but someone who wants to explore off-piste a little bit more. This is becoming a very typical ski for us, a very popular size, around 90 underfoot. 85 to 90 gives you a lot of versatility. It's a true SUV of skis. It can kind of do everything. It has characteristics of a Jeep, but it still has some Ferrari-like tendencies. Really, really fun, very responsive. So in there, we're going to try to qualify every customer as to what width is appropriate. From width, then we're gonna say, generally speaking, we want to kind of qualify 4 different things. How wide do you want to go? Once we get a width, depending on your skiing style, what kind of side cut and how stiff should it be? If you're a fast cruiser, we want to get you a ski that's a little bit stiffer. If you like to make short radius turns, a slower speed involved there, and so a softer ski allows you to push on the front of the ski and get it to modify its turn a little bit easier. So a stiff ski tends to be, at slow speeds, a little bit like driving a big truck in a parking lot. It's a little bit cumbersome, so a softer ski is better for that. On the other hand, if the customer says, I like to just fast cruise down the mountains, I'm making wide, giant slalom type turns, then we like to get them on something a little bit stiffer. So if you look at the flex pattern of this ski, it's pretty soft. It's not hard to modify that flex pattern. That same customer who says he likes to ski very quickly, maybe something like the Salomon Enduro. The ski has a lot more burl to it. There's more metal in it, it's a stiffer wood core, and it's really not very flexible. So it's really going to hold its shape at high speeds, but it's going to be a little bit more cumbersome at slow speeds. So those are some of the compromises you have to make when you're buying a ski. I don't think you can go wrong. On any given run, on any given day, depending on who you're skiing with, one ski or the other may be better for me. It's probably the same for you. So we're looking to get the ski that's going to give you the maximum enjoyment out of the highest percentage of time that you're on the hill. We're looking for smiles per hour.
Let me ask you a question. So if somebody's unsure about what type of skis they need, and they come in, and I mean, obviously you're an expert in not just the skis but the boots and everything here. What kind of questions are you going to ask them to sort of qualify what kind of skis are going to work for me?
Well, Kevin, if you come in, I'm going to start by greeting you and trying to get a conversation about skiing going. I want to know how much you ski, where you ski, who you ski with. Are you skiing with your friends? Do you ski with your kids sometimes and they're 6 and 8 years old? What kind of versatility do you need in the ski? Secondly, I need to know what you've been skiing on, so the experience you've had and where you want to go from that. Depending on the ski you're on, I can ask you questions about that ski. What do you like about that ski? What don't you like about that ski? At that point, it kind of leads me in a direction. from there, it really becomes a question of how much do you know now? How much have you sort of done research and have some ideas? Or do you have no idea what's going on? All you see is a wall of skis that's confusing. So you sort of have to take it from there. But what mountain you ski at, where you ski at on the mountain, if you ski at Squaw Valley, for instance, where do you ski at Squaw? Are you skiing Red Dog, are you skiing KT? When you ski Granite Chief, are you coming down the groomed surfaces, or are you heading off to skiers left and getting out into the meadows and looking for rougher terrain? These are all keys to trying to figure things out.
Now, one of the things that we see a lot, particularly in the holiday, for holiday skiers who only come out once a year, is they're on very old skis, and I ask them, why are you in these skis? And they say, well, I love them. Maybe they're a pair of 1975 Dynamic VR17s. They ski great.
Great ski.
And they say, well, I don't see any reason to upgrade. What are some of the quantitative reasons, why a newer ski might work better for somebody who has an old ski? They say they love it, and they just don't really know what it's going to be like to have a newer ski.
Right. Well, we certainly run into that, and less now than we did. When the shape skis first came out and people were still skiing what we called straight skis, it was a question that came up all the time. At this point, I think a lot of people, when they look around the lift line and they realize that people are on skis that are radically different than theirs, and maybe they're getting some funny looks, they realize that there's something going on. Some of the things that you can explain to them are the way a shape ski works, why this parabolic shape works, how it's sort of a power steering tool that allows them to ski easier and more precisely, have better edge hold, ski with more confidence. Another thing that I'll do is point out that if you look at the world of World Cup racing, on the 5th circuit, there's not a manufacturer that's going to even think about, consider making a straight ski at these at those levels. So the fact is, the skiers at the highest levels are skiing faster and faster on the same courses, and they're making it look easier and easier. And when you watch them ski, they're obviously smoother, they have more control. And that's what it's all about, is controlling your skis so you can control your experience, ski without fear, ski with conviction, have fun. So if they just don't want to buy it, that's okay. And it comes down to this. Let's say you come in and you're 60 years old and you've been skiing your entire life. And you say, I don't want to change. My answer to you is there's no reason to change. You can probably find another pair of your Dynamiques on Craigslist for 15 bucks. We'll mount them up with some current safe bindings, and you can continue doing what you've always done. Go out on the hill 3 days a year, ski like you always have, and have a great time. If that's what rings your bell, I'm fine with that. On the other hand, I would certainly encourage them to get on a more modern ski, try it out, and make a decision after they've had the experience, because I don't think many people are going to want to go back. Would you want a car that didn't have power steering or decent shocks? Do you want to put leaf springs on your Porsche? No, things have changed. They've changed so that customers can have more fun on the hill. We're all out there to have fun, and I'm there to have fun. I'm changing skis pretty much every year, following along as the market changes, the needs of the skiers change, the manufacturers